Барлықтарыңызға сәлем. Үшінші сабағыма қош келдіңіздер. Hello everyone, welcome to our third lesson. Today we're going to learn a location, where, and also who am I? So this is the equivalent of English to be. I am, you are, he is, she is, and so on. So let's start with the location subject here. So where? We're going to start with the first word, üstünde. Literally means on top. I put top in parentheses to show you exactly what word belongs to where. Top in the word üstünde, this is one word, but it's made up out of two parts, actually three parts. And so top is the noun, üstü. Then we actually make the word by adding a couple of suffixes, in the location suffix de. So we get the word üstünde on top. Manav karandash. This is a pencil. So we're going to get down to the location. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to first start by pointing out to the objects and then teaching you how to find their location. Where are these objects? So manav karandash. This is a pencil. And the reason that I highlighted the article is because just to show you that that article doesn't exist in Kazakh. Articles do not exist in Kazakh. We don't have indefinite or definite articles in Kazakh language. Manav kitap. This is a book. Now we're going to get to the location. Karandash kitaptın üstünde. So we actually say that like that. Karandash kitaptın üstünde. I put the verb жатыр is lying on top of the book in parentheses because it's there, but we would normally wouldn't say that. We would drop this and we would imply that it's actually lying on top of the book. But we would make it a lot simpler and say that karandash kitaptın üstünde. The pencil is on the book. And right here, I highlighted these two articles. They are non-existent in Kazakh sentence. The verb is implied by the verb жатыр, lying on, but we would drop this, and this is enough for us to say karandash kitaptın üstünde. All right, moving down the list. Manav öşürgüç. Manav öşürgüç. This is an eraser. Manav portfel. Manav portfel. This is a school bag. Öşürgüç portfeldin üstünde. The eraser is on the school bag. Öşürgüç portfeldin üstünde. All right, so I've already showed you on top, the location of object on top of something. Now I'm gonna go down through the words and translate to you these. İçinde, inside. And I did highlight that basically the noun is ish, the inside of something. So this is the noun, and then out of this noun, we made a verb that basically depicts the word that depicts location. Aslında, under, literally under the bottom of something. Aldında, in front of. Ardında, behind. And the reason that I highlighted the root noun of the word aslında, aldında, and ardında, you'll understand why I did it. Right now, I'm just showing you that this is the noun, and out of this noun, we made another word by adding those suffixes, but we'll get down to that. So now you know Üçінші inside, aslında under, aldında in front, ardında behind. Септiктер, Қайда? Where is the notepad? Септiктер портфельдің ішінде. The notepad is inside, ішінде, the school bag. One more time. Септiктер Қайда? Септiктер портфельдің ішінде. Сызғыш Қайда? Where is the ruler? Сызғыш кітаптың астында. The ruler is under the book. Астында is under. Сызғыш қайда? Сызғыш кітаптың астында. Мұғалім қайда? Where is the teacher? Мұғалім тақтаның алдында. The teacher is in front of the board. Мұғалім қайда? Мұғалім тақтаның алдында. Алдында is in front of the board. Тақтаның of the board. Тақта қайда? Where is the board? Тақта, the board, мұғалімнің артында. Артында is behind the teacher. Тақта қайда? Тақта мұғалімнің артында. So I am going to go down the grammar. I know it's a lot, but I'm not trying. The objective is not to learn the whole table here. I'm just trying to figure out with you, find out where this location is, what part of language this word comes from. So basically, we have cases in Kazakh language that puts these nouns in these case forms and answers the questions. We have the nominative, accusative, all of these wonderful cases, 7 total. And we actually ask the question to the noun, right? So let's go through this, and I'm going to show you exactly where this астында, ішінде, алдында is coming from. So if we go through these cases, we have all 7 cases. So the first is атау. I'm going to go quickly through this because we're going to stop over this later. You don't have to remember everything. I'm just introducing you to cases in this class. Ілік, барыс, табыс, жатыс, шығыс, and көмектес. And all of these cases have the questions, the question form that they depict. Кім, не, who, what. Ілік, кімнің, ненің. Whose, basically, whose book, right? Кімнің кітабы. Кімге, неге, қайда. To who, to what, and where to. So basically, барыс, from the name of this, as a Kazakh, I inferred that this is to go somewhere. To who, to what, and where to. Табыс, to look for who, find who, and what. Кімді, нені. Жатыс is location. Where at, whose place at. Whose place, at whose place, where at. Where at is the best translation of Қайда. And so I highlighted to show you that ішінде actually answers the question of where at, inside, ішінде. And we ask the question Қайда. And so a lot of these that I'm showing are the endings of the noun. They are attached to the noun when we put the nouns through the cases. And they have these endings, da, de, ta, te, nde, nda. So I highlighted to show you that all of these endings you will find in these words that I just gave you. Ішінде, інде, астында, да, aldında, da, артында. So I just showed you that the highlighted in yellow form is the actual noun. We transformed the noun by ending those suffixes, those endings, and made a location under something, in front of something, behind something. So that belongs to this part of the language, the cases. We are putting those nouns into different forms, case forms. And this is how we got ішінде, астында, артында, üstünde. So, all right. So I hope that that makes sense. If it doesn't, write it down under the video that it didn't make sense. So we're gonna, try to expand the subject and explain to in more detail. But I just have to move on because we have a lot to learn. So let's get introduced to the word I am someone. I'm a mom, I'm a student. So in this case, I'm gonna take the sentence, I am a student. So in English, we have the verb to be. In French, we have the verb être. And so when we actually say, I am a student, je suis étudiant, we actually use that verb to be. I am a student. So in this case, we actually depict the the verb to be by adding the personal ending at the end of the noun. So in this case, I or me is men. The word for student is оқушы. And to make it a full sentence, I am a student, we are adding the ending to the noun. Мен оқушымын. I am a student. Сен оқушысың. You are a student. Сіз оқушысыз. This is a polite version. Remember that Kazakh has a polite version, such as Russian language has a polite version of you, and French language has a polite version of you. They have tu and vous, and in Russian it's ты и вы, and in Kazakh it's сен and siz. But in English, I don't think if we have that polite version, we imply it politely, but we don't necessarily put the polite version for you. So you are a student. Ол оқушы. He, she is a student. Why did I, highlight it here that this is equivalent of мын? I am. Мен оқушымын. I am a student. Then сен оқушысың is equivalent of you are a student. Сіз оқушысыз is equivalent of you are a student, polite form. And right here, what do you see? You don't see that there's an equivalent in ол оқушы. He, she is a student. Why? Because we don't have that form here in the third person singular. We just say ол оқушы. That's it. So it's dropped, it's implied, it's somewhere, maybe at some point was present, but it dropped over the course of the language development. So let's just take it the way it is. This is how Kazakhs speak. Біздер оқушылармыз. We are students. Біздер, we are is muz. So I highlighted R to be equivalent of this ending, and the plural ending of students to be the equivalent of lar. So оқушы is one student. By adding lar, we're making it a plural form of оқушы, оқушылар. And then we're saying we are students, оқушылармыз. All right? So you've got that. Сендер, next one. You all are. Оқушыларсыңдар. Again, оқушы is one student. Lar makes it plural, as in here, by adding s. Сыңдар. You are students, right? So that makes sense. I highlighted so you could see what goes to what and where the equivalent, where the Kazakh equivalent looks like an English equivalent. So it will come to you, but right now I just wanted to show you visually what it means and how it looks like. Sizler оқушылар, sizler. Polite version, you're all students. You know, I live in Colorado. I'm not a Texan. I don't speak the Southern version of English, American English, but I really wanted to show you that by pointing to you're all, you all, right? So this is a plural form of you are all. So all right, sizler оқушылар, sizler, but this is the polite version. The third one is олар, оқушылар. Again, you see that there's an equivalent S that goes, that shows that lar ending. That's equivalent of plural form that makes the word, the singular word, it makes it in the plural form. But again, as in here, we don't see the verb are. We don't see it here. It's dropped. It's not present. This is how we speak. Олар, оқушылар. So let's pronounce it in Kazakh again. Мен оқушымын, сен оқушысың, сіз оқушысыз, ол оқушы. Біздер оқушылармыз, сендер оқушыларсыңдар. Сіздер оқушыларсыздар, олар оқушылар. I know I went a little bit fast, and that could take you some time to pronounce it. But again, don't forget about that wheel in YouTube that you can choose the speed of the speaker and make me speak a lot slower. All right, so let's do some exercises. The first exercise is, again, I'm gonna ask a question. Where is the book? Is the book on top of the table? The first one would be kitap üstüldün. Remember üstül, the table from the previous first class. Üstünde. Me is the question. It basically implies the question. Kitap üstüldün, üstünde me is the book, kitap üstüldün, off the table. Üstünde is on the. Is the book on the table? Üstünde is on top. Remember, I gave you this word, this lesson, in this lesson. Üstünde, it's the very first one. Üstünde, on top, is on top. Okay, so we're gonna go down to our exercise and do that. So you'll have to answer. I didn't write that whole answer. You'll have to practice it. And this time, I'm not gonna give away an easy answer. You'll have to do it on your own. Write it down in your notepad. You should have a notepad dedicated to Kazakh language class and write it down. And I'm doing you a favor because by writing it down, all the answers and doing all the exercises, you will get a hang of the language, okay? Yeah, affirmative, yes. All, it. And then you have to write whether it's üstünde or aslında. Well, in this case, it's going to be easy, right? Because I gave you a little hint. Yes, it. And then you have to add, is on the table. In Kazakh. Daptir sömkenin астында ма? Daptir. What is daptir? A notepad. Sömke. What is sömke? A bag. Астында, under. Question form. Daptir sömkenin астында ма? Think about it. So here we have the negation. Жоқ, all, and then you have to write down where that notepad is located at in Kazakh. No, it is where? Write it down in Kazakh. Өшіргіш дәптердің астында ма? Өшіргіш is the eraser. Дәптер is what? A notepad. Астында is under. So I'm asking, is the eraser under the notepad? Өшіргіш дәптердің астында ма? Write your answer whether it's affirmative or negative. All right. Next one. Мұғалім тақтаның артында ма? Мұғалім is a teacher. Тақтаның of the board. Артында ма? Behind the board. Is the teacher behind the board? You have to write the answer, whether it's positive or negative in Kazakh. Next one. Оқушылар сыныптың ішінде ме? The students. Are the students inside ішінде of the classroom? Сыныптың ішінде ме? One more time. Оқушылар, plural form of students. Lar makes it plural form of one student. Оқушы is one. Оқушылар is many. Оқушылар сыныптың of the classroom. ішінде ме? Inside. So the English version is, are these students inside the classroom? You have to write your answer in Kazakh. All right. Next one. Қарындаш қайда? Where is the pencil? You'll just have to write down that қарындаш, and then you have to put the location is on top of the notepad. You have all of the words that I gave you, and you can use them. Дәптер қайда? Again, you have to answer that question. Where is the notepad? Мұғалім қайда? Where is he standing? Where is the teacher? Мұғалім қайда? Write down whether he is behind or in front of the chair in Kazakh. Орындық қайда? Again, have to answer in Kazakh. Now we have a few more left, a couple more left. Кітаптар қайда? Where are the books? Are they under or on top of the bench? And the bench in Kazakh is, remember from the first lesson, бақтағы орындық. And I'm asking you a question. Бақтағы орындық қайда? You got it? All right. And the last one, but not the least. Кілттер қайда? Where are the keys? So we have singular form, one key, кілт. Тер makes it plural. Keys. Where are the keys? And so one thing that you may have noticed that I don't have the verb when I'm asking the question, where are the keys? I don't have the article. I don't have the verb. Where are is missing, dropping in Kazakh sentence here. The article the is dropped as well. I just have two words. Кілттер, keys, where. Isn't that beautiful? And that's a good grammatical structure of this sentence. All right, so we have to write it down. This is about it. I really appreciate that you're watching this class. Again, I want to emphasize that I am recording this class for my children, but I decided to go public and put it out there. If people have children who are wanting to learn Kazakh, if people themselves want to brush up their memory and pick up Kazakh again, if they don't speak Kazakh, or maybe once they knew Kazakh, but they don't speak Kazakh anymore. So this is a good exercise, and this is a good lesson for you to pick it up again and figure out all of your grammar. And I'm trying to give it to you in small batches, that you're not just overwhelmed with all of this grammatical, morphological, lexical, challenges. So please, if you're watching me, put the like, put the comment. I'll try to answer all of your questions. I'll do my best. I don't promise, but I'll try to do my best. And again, this is Aldana Quigley, who lives in Denver, Colorado, who's got 2 kids who she's trying to teach her mother tongue. So I am not a teacher by my profession, but I'm trying to actually make up my own lesson, module, if you will, the multiple modules, because I just could not find something that was up to my palate that I could tell my kids go ahead and just study it alone and exercise, or it's extremely hard to find the right person to teach them Kazakh as well, because the kids are English spoken kids, English speaking kids, and their first tongue is English. They know Russian, but it's harder to learn another foreign language based on a foreign language. So I speak some French, but it doesn't mean that I'm amazing at French. And for me to learn Chinese using French, that's not even second language, is a challenge. So it's kind of harder. So I needed someone who speaks perfect English to teach my kids. We had an amazing teacher for close to a year, but it's proving itself harder with the schedules and everything to keep up. And plus, if you are learning the language, you need to at least spend at least 2 or 3 times a week to actually keep it going and exercising. So I decided to record these classes that you or your kids can go in there and learn on your own and just listen in. So if you have any questions, please ask me. I'm very happy that you're here with me, and let's keep this going. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.